Eight.
Nine.
Ten.
Yizzo!
Hello. Good morning. We
Oh.
now have a morning show.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. It is 9:16 a.m. and we are recording and working our way up to a morning show because I wonder if the energy will be different. Probably your energy is very different in the morning.
Well, it's
Oh.
not just the morning. I guess I'll start. Work has been awful this week. Like on a million. Like I've never worked these kind of hours. And what's crazy is I have other stuff to do. I'm just sitting like I closed my computer last night at I want to say around 12 o'clock. I got a call the other night where I'm laying down, minding my business. 11:30, my phone is ringing and ringing, and it's Teams, and it's because we're up against like a huge deadline, and a whole bunch of people got sick. It was just like the perfect storm. And so I think I might have. I mean, yesterday I literally sat from 9 till 12 and worked and just legit worked. And it's been exhausting. It's been so much um, just problem solving, putting out fires, managing people's schedules, just all day, constantly. You solve one problem and uncover like four. That is what it has been. I'm on all of these new projects that I have no experience in, so I have a learning curve. The entire team has a learning curve. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So you're gonna
When,
hear it in my voice.
when is it when does it let up? When is the deadline?
311. But the big we
Oh,
had so we
that's
have like
very
multiple
soon.
deadlines marching towards this launch of a new campaign. And the big deadline is Monday right now to for this like medical legal review that we have to submit to. And yeah. So I will be working after this. I'm getting pings now telling me that things are ready. And you know what it is? I'm doing better with like before I would be like this is work. I don't care. People have to stay on. There's a lot of people like my son has a soccer game. I have to go to the game. One woman is pregnant and she's like I need to rest. I'll come. Okay, is there any way you can work tomorrow? Somebody asked me to work Sunday night and I was like it's not happening. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Like no. So we have to find a compromise. But, I'm taking it in stride. People have lives, people have things going on. It is what it is. I have my computer. I could just log on. I will say I was honored by not my job, but like the,
Oh,
it wasn't specific to my job. I was an honoree from my job, the only one from my company for the like this medical advertising hall of fame this week. Mandy
you
was my date.
y'all looked beautiful. It
Thank
looked like
you.
a knockoff classy event.
I love her because it was black tie and she was like, "Oh bitch, I'm coming in here with my gloves." She had a dress that like her gloves connected to the dress.
I know that's
She
right,
was like the
Mandy.
only person in the room with a bright color on, and I was like, "I'm obsessed with you." And everybody was coming up to her like, "I love your dress," and she was like, "Fashion over." like you, you cannot take the girl anywhere, and she's not herself, and I so appreciate it. And she's so supportive. She's like, "I'm making a reel. I know how to make a reel." And they called my name and she's like, "Woo woo," super hype, going crazy. Then in the middle of it, I could tell she's bored as hell, but she's also like, "This what you do? I knew you did stuff, but I didn't know you did this, girl." And so, because there's all these presentations and stuff, so we had such a good time. But she cracked me up. She was like, to the head of HR went with my HR went with us, and she in the middle of it, she goes, "Excuse me, can we take these centerpieces?" And the head of my HR was like, I don't know." And she was like, "Well, who do I ask?"
I know that's right.
And damn if we ain't walk out with three
Good. And
centerpieces.
you should always. I think that is
I know.
A
She is
must for
just,
all events.
she's such a hoot. And then I come home. I don't, if you're on Patreon, you can see flowers behind me. I come
Oh,
home and they weren't even flowers for the event. They're Valentine's Day flowers
oh my goodness.
with strawberry covered, what is it, chocolate covered strawberries.
Mandy,
I was like, girl, you got the
she
riz
know
on
how to
you.
take care of you
Oh, she
niggas.
be
I'm
risen.
really sleeping on Mandy. All y'all niggas that you fumbled that bag.
Listen,
Cause that's the real one right there.
Mandy, when she loves you, is the sweetest thing in the world. When you do her dirty, you're just dead to her. And I think that's actually pretty healthy. I ain't mad at it. So shout out to
Yeah.
her. But I am exhausted, but she was such a bright light this week that I needed. I was working during the event. It was a mess. But
Well, you look good. You
thank
couldn't
you,
tell.
boo. Oh, that was my other story, real fast. Girl, I got my makeup done. I ain't gonna say by who or where. And I sat there and was like, And I asked this question on Twitter. I said, has anyone gotten their makeup done and they know that it's fucked up based off of the brushes being used and where they're being placed on your face? Like, I'm at the point now where I know where when a brush hits, when a bronzer, first of all, when you're using a bronzer to contour, that's my first issue. You don't use a bronzer to contour. Go get a contour palette that is not orange. Anyway, but when it starts, when you hit me down here with it, under, like way under my cheekbone, I just know you don't know what you're doing. So the lady was so nice, and I said, you know what? We're gonna work together on my face. I said, can I lift this contour real fast? And she was like, oh. I said, can I have some of the concealer? Took the concealer, drew my little line, lifted it up, and she was like, oh, I see. Yeah, that really raised your face. I was like, yeah. So
She was white or black?
She was black, girl.
Was this like when you did Beyonce type levels of disappointment?
Yes. But so
Why do you know how to do your makeup? Why are you
know
even
what
playing
I
now?
don't know how to do my eye makeup, and I don't know how to like beat my face. I know how to do like regular makeup, but like if I need my makeup done, I don't know how to do that. Or
Well,
maybe I do.
You
maybe,
do. We got to take a class. You just need to know the things.
I have to, yeah, because I'm over it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
y'all
what we
don't know
need
what
to
y'all
do.
doing, and it's upsetting me. She contoured my nose like Michael Jackson. I tried to get it off, but even in that first picture I posted, I look a little Michael Jackson-y, but that's okay. That's okay.
They hate a black nose. Even the
I'm
makeup
like,
artists.
don't contour my nose. I told her, I was like, I really don't like contouring my nose. She's like, no, it's just a little so it makes your eyes pop. And I was like, down here? Okay. Like, I get up here, like in the crease and like going into the like nose area up here by the eye, but like on the bridge of my nose, leave it alone. Anyway, she was so nice, and at the end, she said, "I learned so much today. Thank you so
my
much."
God.
So
Bitch, pay me.
I know. But she did my eyebrows very well. She
Okay.
freaked them eyebrows out. She redeemed herself with the eyebrows, but everything else was wrong. I said,
Girl.
"You wrong, girl."
You got to find your girl. You got to find...
my go-to girl.
You gotta, yeah. You know, like Renee, shout out to Renee. This 2024, this is probably the first time that we mentioned
Renee
her. But
Blewett?
Yeah, she has her go-to girls that
Oh,
like...
Renee's face.
But she has the same
Yeah.
makeup artist. I love when we got our makeup done by Brittany. She helped me to understand. It's like, oh, it's like a lover. It's like the first time you're like,
You're
I think
learning.
this, and then she's like, oh, the next time I do it, I know how
know
to
your
freak
face
it and get
more.
better and better. Because I
know what products actually sit on your skin well.
You're like, you know,
I got a date. You got a date.
hit your girl up, be like, yeah, I got an event on this, but this whole while and like just crossing our fingers and going to
Any old body.
you don't do that with your vagina. Don't do it with your face, girl.
Some
Tried
people
and
do.
true. When you know you need to get one, you know who to go to now. Do we?
No.
Do we? No. I know. It's a bad analogy.
I was like,
Some
"Do
people do. Me, not so much. But
girl, I gave you what you need. You scared of it. You ain't fit. You ready to talk about that? We're gonna talk about that on the next episode, the Valentine's Day episode. I gave you what you need to get what you got.
I have
But
no
you don't
idea
wanna
what you're
get it.
talking about.
Girl,
And that ain't a guarantee, child. And
what you mean
I
that's
have
not a
no
gi-
idea what you're talking about, actually. But I'm already arguing it down, and I don't agree.
I'm talking about the vibrator.
Oh,
What would you think I was
I don't
talking
know.
about?
That's what I was like. Who are you
You
talking
thought I
about?
was talking about a person?
Yeah. Tricky.
Oh God, go into your updates.
Well, because Antoinette had her, she's being honored. She's being honored on the day that we usually record. So I was like,
Thank you for
I was going to be in New York on Wednesday to go to a trade show. Shout out to some of the listeners that I met at the trade show. Anyway, and then I was like, well, boom, after I go there, why don't we just record ahead early together? That fell through the cracks because Antoinette's job is just a terror. And so
sorry.
I was like, I still need to spend the night at your house. And Antoinette was like, cool. I spent the night at her house, and Blue was there.
Stop.
Now, Blue is her cat, y'all. I don't know if you're a mother, you know what it's like when you have a baby. You don't get a full night's sleep because the baby will fuss and cry and wake you up. Blue's cat. Antoinette's cat, Blue, interrupted my sleep multiple times, meowing, screaming. And I'm not talking about how some cats like meow, meow. She has a guttural shriek that goes up and down. She screams.
You bad.
And kept me up all night. Finally, I gave in, and I just got up and I went because I thought it was food. I went, got a little handful of food, threw it in a dish, walked past. The bitch kept crying.
You better not talk about her don't call her a bitch.
The cat kept crying. I said, this cat got colic? Like, what does she want? It was awful. Awful. Come to find out, she wants to be pet, which is also obnoxious and wild. Like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be damned if I'm waking up, coming to your every beck and call. And Blue in cat years is about 20, 30 years old.
She's 11.
She's not a baby. She's 11.
I told y'all, I've been a single mom for so long to an infant.
Antoinette.
Y'all think I'm playing. I told y'all she ruins my sleep schedule. I have to get up and hold her and rock her sometimes and pet her. Yeah.
It ain't right. And I
have a baby.
It's not. You saying that, but that's not right.
I have a baby. I don't know what to tell you. She's chilling now.
And she's chill now, but not at 2, 3 in the morning.
I'm telling you,
screaming. Y'all think I'm joking. I forgot she stayed at my house before, and she would slam herself against the wall in my door.
Well, she doesn't like closed doors. That's number one. She wants to be able to have access. And I have a feeling that you might have closed the door. I didn't
close that door. Eventually, I closed the door. Eventually, I did.
You gotta wet her. I told
screaming.
you gotta spray her with the spray bottle when she's doing that. Or you just pick her up, next time you pick her up, you put her in the bed with you, and you pet her a couple times and she will be fine.
No, but the fact that you have to do that, like, I get your solution. I hear what you're saying, but that's not normal or right. And you have to retrain your cat. You have.
Oh no, it's over.
And that's because of you.
No, it's not. It's really
you have enabled that. The fact that Blue is like, I get what I want when I scream. And eventually these humans are going to give in because that's what I've known.
She's far worse now that she came back from grandma's house. She was at grandma's house for 2 months.
No, Anthony,
she is far worse. But what I'm telling you is,
that ain't the first time.
I used to come home at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. from my job in her younger years. So this is what she knows. Her entire youth, those were the hours that I worked. So when I got in, that was when I would pet her and do my thing with her because it was 3, 4 in the morning. My mother gets up at 5 in the morning, and she said that she'll hear Blue like meow, meow, meow. She'll get up, and then Blue's hanging out with her in the bathroom, and she's getting pet. So that's the time she's like, oh, okay, lit. I'm back on my schedule. You just have to wet her. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
you making it. Yeah.
I don't know that I want
apologize.
to be.
You're not gonna stay
Who
here
gonna be there? Blue gonna be there?
So you're not gonna say don't stay at my house then. Fine. If I said that about Jolie, who gonna be there? Joe gonna be there? I don't want to come. You be mad. This is my child, and you're disrespectful, and I'm dead serious.
No, that is disrespectful. Your cat is disrespectful.
Do you remember Joe?
She's third. If Jolie was Blue was 11. Like, you keep trying to say, I could see if she was a new kitten.
Tear. Joe was a fucking
but
tear.
She's not anymore. She's not. This is 11
years. Maybe
years.
Blue just don't fuck with you because she not like that with everybody. I don't tell you. It's your energy.
Everybody that knows Blue. Yes, she is.
Change the subject, because we going on and on. You make me mad. Because you talk about her and I'm looking at her. Relax.
Last, but not least, I just want everybody to know that I'm okay. Like, everybody keeps texting me and they're like, I hope you feel better. I hope everything's working out. I hope I'm okay, guys. I really am. Everything's fine. I'm not.
That's so nice that you have people that care about you to text you.
Yeah, but I don't know what I said that people are like,
You said you want a job with Teams. Then you said you want a job at the airport. Then you said you got a nanny gig. It feels like you do it a lot, like you working it out. And you said you're not inspired by Sable, so that's like a jarring thing for folks.
Maybe that is what it is. I just don't. All of that feels so normal to me.
It sounds normal to me too, but to a listener, I feel like
I'm all right though. I'm doing really well. Everything's good over here.
This is just Shanti.
Concern. I appreciate y'all concern, but I'm okay.
This is just how the baby girl processes. You just gotta. I'm telling y'all, the girl moved to Honduras for 2 weeks.
Guatemala.
I apologize. She moved to Guatemala for 2 weeks and then came back like, I
should have stayed there. Jolie would be fluent. We would both be fluent in Spanish. That was a mistake. But also, I did get a job at the airport, which I won't be keeping. But if y'all can get into the airport, the whole package, everything seems lit. Like, I could have started. I saw a whole new career before my eyes. I really did. I was like,
why are you not taking the job? I'm obsessed with you. I
don't want that. I don't think I want
It's that 90-day job.
Yes, the 90 days. Mm-hmm. It was the atmosphere a little bit. They didn't have much good things to say, but I did see it. I said, maybe I am a corporate girl. They gave me a manager position too, and I was like, nope, hell no. I think that's what scared me. I said, what? Ma'am, no. I won't be taking it, but y'all should apply because the benefits seemed lit for real. Really. But everything's okay over here, guys. Don't worry about your girl. All right? Okay, so now we're just going to move on to...
We're not ready yet. We want to just say that for the Patreon exclusive Saving All Your Love for Shanti event, we are still having or accepting submissions.
We haven't had one submission, and
Stop.
I really, it's helping me understand a lot.
No, it's not.
Where I am in my life, why I am, like, I just.
No, that's an intimidating thing to do. And there are plenty of people who call and want to be in relationship with you. Cut it out.
I don't care, but also it's just helping me. It's just helping me. It's just helping me, and yeah, that's it.
Well, we are still accepting submissions, so please, if you're listening,
if it's just one person or two people, I'm not doing it.
Shanti, you're ruining it right now.
I'm just letting y'all know.
All right, so she might not do it, so y'all better submit. Tell a friend. Bring a friend. All you got to be is single, like kids, love eating, love music, have a
You
sense of
don't.
humor.
We never had those requirements for you. I think it's those requirements. Like it was open ended. I never created requirements.
I think that you did create
I
requirements.
didn't. It was just open ended.
Well, that's why it was fucked up. that's why the people who came. All right. It's Sunday, February 18th at 7 p.m., y'all. And if we don't do it, and this is for patrons only, we will do something else for the patrons. We will have some sort of Valentine's Day love affair thing. But I really want to see y'all fight over Shanti's heart. Stop
they don't
playing.
want it, girl.
They know you don't want to give
They
it out.
don't
That's what it
want
is.
it.
They said
That's
she's
a
not ready to
shame.
be loved. All right. Lastly, Shanti, looking at a calendar, I think that the last day to buy merch will be February 17th. February 17th, everyone. Get your orders in. We have many orders that are being created right now by our lovely printer, and then we will start shipping. So please get your orders in by February 17th, and then we locking that joint down. All right? Thank you. All right, go ahead, Sheila.
And we just want to take this moment out to remind everybody, especially new listeners, to review, rate, subscribe, share, and old listeners. If you've been rocking with us for a while, you've been watching our journey, we would love for you to share a review, subscribe, of course, and just even tell your friends and family about the podcast. We would really appreciate it. It helps us. And we'd also invite you to join our Patreon, where you can see the podcast in video form as well as other exclusive video content, such as the crickets that will be chirping at my love event. Nobody loves me and ain't nobody praying for me like Kendrick Lamar.
Stop.
So shout out to all of the patrons that have joined: Hamid, Chantel, Rebecca, Natalie. Is that how you say it? Natalie. Is that how you spell it? Natalie?
No.
Nathalie, Jeffrey, Ignoring Stupid, Argenis, Alicia, Austin, Chris, Nadija, Kristen, Amal, Ebony, and is that a typo, Antoinette? Ivor?
No,
Sure.
That's
Ivor. We appreciate all of you. I apologize if I done butchered your name. Consider joining our Patreon. It is a 3-tiered subscription-based content membership. All right? So check us out at www.patreon.com/AroundTheWayCurls. Okay? And after that, we'll take a little break. So after these messages, we'll be right back. Boop.
Let me get this clip ready. I'm not playing the other Dronsky.
It's 23. I don't know where you got that from. Why your joint say 28? Where you at?
First of all, it's dyslexia, bitch. That looked like an 8.
Oh,
so
sorry.
You're being violent towards my
I was making sure maybe you were recording longer. Maybe there was a misalignment there.
And the man who got the top award went up there and said, "I'm just a dyslexic kid from Newark." And I felt him. I was like, yeah, bro. Shame. Do you feel shame or no?
No,
Where did I send you that amorphous track?
Oh no, but that was great.
Said you
I
loved
think it
it.
was text.
I'll be sending you too many texts. Was it? Okay, here it is.
Febreze. Hi, I use Febreze Fade Defy Plug.
And I use this.
Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it smells first day fresh for 50 days.
50 days?
And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. Febreze Plug.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
When we're done with this, we're going to need to talk about the blue thing because that's crazy. And the fact that you feel like that you're not going to come stay here is nuts. You really believe you?
I really can't sleep. Like you know how I am about sleep. Like I really don't. I cannot sleep.
I think I just need to give you some tools with her. You have to just wet her.
Perhaps that's the case, but the way that
You
happened
gotta spray the shit out of her.
That was really
I
wild.
got a spray bottle. All right, well, we'll talk about it. She gotta go back to her grandmother's house, though. That's over. All right. And we are back. So, hot shit. I was on the interwebs because I think I'm a DJ, and I was looking for music to play in the background while I was working. And I stumbled on, I've talked about this gentleman before, Amorphous. He is actually a young man from Philly, and he went on tour with Beyonce. He was someone who just kept posting on Instagram, posting on TikTok, YouTube, all of these really incredible mashups of artists where he blends two artists, two different songs, and has like a vibe that you kind of never even thought about and like dreamed of. And so I went back to him because I was like, let me see what he got cooking up now. And I went to him on YouTube because his mashups obviously can't be on like the streaming services because he doesn't own the content. And I saw Aaliyah and Maxwell Don't Ever Wonder mashup with Rock the Boat, and I said, I need to know what this is. And I'm gonna play a clip for y'all. Isn't that a nice?
It is a groove. Yeah, that's
groove. That had me going, and of course Aaliyah. So I sent it straight to you. And I was like,
that was
girl.
a diddly bop groove.
So I just wanted to share that with y'all and say, when the world is stressing you out, when people getting on your nerves, when you working all hours of the day and night, sometimes all you need is a good groove. Because that shit got me straight out of my funk. I raised my desk that I was at. Oh, and vibrations as well. I started two-stepping. I started singing a little lyrics. And that, have you revisited those lyrics?
Oh, it's such a sexy. I was a hot ass.
Oh.
I had a little boyfriend at that time, too young, all turned up. I was like, I'm going to be like Aaliyah.
I want you to rock my boat.
I was very young. And that was actually,
really?
Yes, that was too much. But
you were like, that was like 8th grade, right?
Yeah, it was the summer of 8th. It was the transition from 8th to high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Burlington Co Factory and bought baby fat underwear.
Ooh. You bought baby fat underwear so you could see it?
Yes. Anyway, I'm telling too much of my business. What color was it? They were lime green. They had the baby fat cat as a medal. Let me tell you something, though. I was a little bad little thing when I was younger. I really was. Because what 14-year-old?
You was Tracy.
I was trying to be Tracy.
You was fly girl.
I really was. I was super attentive to that kind of stuff. Now, you saw my underwear. The internet has.
I've seen.
It really upset.
At least you wear them. But anyway, listen, shout out to all the girls back in the day wearing baby fat. We know y'all got a story to tell. Because them baby fat girls was outside. That was like how you knew.
You didn't have a puffer?
Hell no. My dad was like, you ain't having no fucking baby fat. What are you even talking about? No. With a kitty cat pussy on it? No.
Ooh. You took it there.
Y'all took it there. Kimora took it there. Why you think the cat was the logo.
Fresh, and she was groomed.
Mm-hmm. Now we taking
Conspiracy theories. Because what you gotta understand is Hollywood, what they're trying to do is set it up for the young people. Because of Puff Daddy, okay,
with the puffer jacket.
with the puffer jacket,
They
pussy,
split. Ooh.
and the elimination and emasculation of the black man.
And the what?
And
The baby
homosexuality.
No, wait. The baby fat implying that these are adolescents ready to be groomed.
Okay.
Baby fat.
Talk about it.
Ooh.
And because you still want the young girls, so you want to fetishize,
exactly
sexualize the baby.
Exactly. That's all baby fat was. Matter of fact, we gonna do a thing.
And I was their target market, because not me going to get the discount baby fat underwear at 14 years old.
Amanda wore baby fat every day in high school.
She did.
She had the baby fat earrings. She had the kitty cat earrings that droop.
I didn't like the drip though. I didn't like the other stuff, but I did like them underwears.
Wow. I'm going to get you some baby fat underwear. You saw Ice Spice wore a baby fat outfit to the Grammys.
It was cute, but not to the Grammys though.
We'll talk about it. Also, hot chick Cat Williams will debut his new comedy special streaming live on the Netflix is a Joke YouTube.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and Monique is opening, and that's going to come out May 4th. After he saw her on Shannon, then they announced that she finna open now.
They are tricky. They taking over.
Shannon Sharp, like spearheading these comedy awards and tours.
How do
it's
we
interesting.
feel about Shannon for real?
When did he? I love Shannon.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay.
I will talk about. I had a crush on Shannon there. I might have had bought some baby fat panties for Uncle Shay Shay there. I might have. Shay on Undisputed used to have me going. I disagree with a lot of his takes, but it was the way he delivered them. Anyway.
I don't know what any of this gibberish is that you wrote here, but I kept it there in case it made sense to you.
Oh, God. There was a hot shit voicemail. Shout out to the caller who called in and they recommended a whole bunch of different news outlets for us to check out, and they left like 3 voicemails, so I'm not gonna go into it, but they were just talking about how, you know, grassroots organizing is the most important thing, and these are all concepts that we've talked about before and that we are in alignment with. But he was talking about ground news. I'm adding Channel 4, Al Jazeera, but he specifically brought up Brianna Gray Joy. And I think I mentioned her before, and we definitely played a clip of her, so I did. But Brianna Gray Joy, I think, is the up and coming kind of culture critic, news pundit, like that's on the rising. She is absolutely brilliant. She does have a podcast, Bad Faith Pod, but she appears on a bunch of different outlets. I forget what the show is called. I played the clip from. She's on a YouTube series across from a very Republican-leaning white man, and she does great work on that show, debunking a lot of the things that he says, and also agreeing when it's time to agree. But I'm a big fan of hers. So anybody that enjoys politics as usual, I would definitely say to check her out. Oh yes, it's called The Hill. That is the name of the YouTube show. But she's incredible.
Awesome.
She really is.
And she has
she has a podcast as well. What's up?
Listen, and I told you this before, my daughter is texting me, and somehow or other her friends has put some type of app on her text that whenever
it's not an app. It's just a shortcut. You just have to go into her settings.
But they made it into penis. So it's like yes or something, and it's always... So she texts me the word penis in every sentence. And it's getting a bit annoying.
All you have to do is go into her settings, and there's a shortcuts thing. And they have whenever so you can do a shortcut. So like if you were to type LMK, you could do a shortcut and it would say "Let me know."
Okay.
But you don't have to type that. So they did yes and did penis.
To the penis, Joe.
So just change that poor thing.
This was wonderful, and I'm very excited for this. Antoinette shared that Little John is maybe coming out with a guided meditation album. It's set to release on February 16th, and it's a 10-track meditation album. I am so excited for that. I'm loving also how a lot of these black men are also just tapping into country music, and I feel like that is a area where it's been really it's very racially charged. It feels very exclusive, but I feel like the roots of it are so black. So the fact that black men are just doing their thing. Shout out to Andre. Shout out to Little John. I don't know these brothers' names, but I'll get the information. I was just seeing so many black men are doing so well in country music, including one of the lead successful artists is the black guy from Hootie and the Blowfish. I forgot his name. Killing it. Like his career, he is a star. Sells out major arena. I don't want to be with you. Remember him?
Yeah.
He is a mega star in country music. And he also just got arrested
I only want to be with you. when you sing.
I love him. I don't love him, but I love that song. But shout out to Lil Jon.
He just got arrested?
Unfortunately, yeah. But he came out for drugs and, being a mess. But when you're idolized like that...
Darius Rucker?
Darius is fucking it up. Apparently.
Is that who it is?
I guess so. Hootie and the Blowfish lead singer. He has his own solo career and is just killing it in country music and being well received. And I love that for everybody.
I'm looking him up now.
We're going to move on to our Black History Spotlight. This is close to my heart. Somebody sent me this, and then I did a deep dive. We're going to talk about Eddie Pline today. He's a jeweler from New York, and he is the inventor of the grills that we know today. Eddie's family originally were from Suriname, and he arrived in Brooklyn, his family, in 1973. His goals growing up were to be a football player, and he wanted to be like Pele. But while he was trying to, achieve his dreams, and he's in this immigrant family, they're all hustling. His dad came straight to the U.S. and never took a 9-to-5, so he was always an entrepreneur, working really hard, always doing it the honest way. His family was always grinding, so he decided to kind of continue with that legacy and trained to go to dentist school. And of course, this is during the 80s. Hip hop is very big. And apparently in Suriname, gold teeth were very common, but they were always, permanent. Mm-hmm. They were permanent. But he realized and started to play around. He married what he was learning in dentistry school with hip hop and with the fashion of Suriname, and was like, yo, there's a way that I can take molds of these teeth and allow people to get the gold look without it being permanent. So he went to work and was just like a little mad scientist, put together what he was learning in dental school, and what he was, figuring out all the different metals, and he started developing caps. And it took a long time, not a long time, but it took some coaxing to get a lot of the folks to fuck with it, because they were like, imagine, this was never done before.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? But he got people to fuck with it, and it started blowing up, and he's responsible for making grills there's a classic photo of Jay-Z as a young teenager with a mouthful of grills, and those were made by Eddie Pline. He did Ludacris's grills. He did everybody who's anybody, he was responsible for their grills. And really, he and his whole family made a business out of it. We're traveling from Atlanta to New York to all the hubs of hip hop. And they had a brick and mortar store at one point, and they were describing it as a mecca. Not only was it a place where, of course, they were making these, you know, style defining grills during the highlight of the hip hop era, but people were coming and shooting pool and hanging, and like it was a place where people gathered and culture was just had there. Unfortunately, his style was mimicked once it caught on and people figured out, you know, how to do it. Of course, there was people that also started making grills, and because he didn't have the insight to kind of copyright the practice or figure out what kind of like legalities he could do to maintain his ownership of that style, his story, his legacy got lost in the sauce. He also just wasn't, all of this was happening before social media, so like capturing it and his story was kind of lost in the sauce. But some people, lovers of grills, lovers of hip hop, always trace back the grill to him. And somebody wanted to document his story, and they wanted to make it into a documentary at first, but realized it was too expensive, so they decided to make it into a book. And the book is called Mouth of Full Golds, and it shares his story, and there's amazing photography in it.
You have it?
No, it's sold. I sold out like immediately, and I have access to wholesale, like getting books, and every time I even try to go get it on wholesale, like it's just not being printed anymore. But I think they're going to try to do a reprint, but I've seen it before and like my heart skipped a beat. I would love to get it. But shout out to Eddie Pline. His daughter is trying to follow in his footsteps, and let's just put some respect on his name as the originator of the grill and a pioneer and a hustler. All right, because he was really, that's just, I love that creativity. I love that ingenuity. I'm just saying the same words. What's another synonym for creativity? Originality.
Goodbye.
Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Black History.
That was super dope. That was super dope because I was trying to do one on Ida B. Wells, which is also
important.
fire.
It's very important.
But I love like your Black history is so fucking no, it's fire because I don't know that. I don't know this information. It's not. These are the forgotten folks that are hella important. So thank you.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Politics as usual. And we're 42 minutes in, so we're going to keep pushing right on through this. So a jury found Jennifer Crumbley guilty. Guilty, child. She was going to face up to 60 years in prison.
60?
Jennifer, yep, 60. Jennifer is 45 years old. She's the mother of Ethan Crumbley, who was 15 at the time when he used a pistol to kill several people and injure 7 others at Oxford High School in Michigan. Now, this case sets precedent. This is the first time a parent has been charged in any type of like child shooting. They're always sued, for money, but they're never charged criminally in this way. And so this is like a groundbreaking case that it is going to set precedent moving forward when these types of atrocities happen. The reason why she was found guilty is because the gun was a gift from his parents. Now, his father is going to stand trial next month for the same charges. The gun was a gift from his parents. There were several warning signs. School officials, the day of the shooting, had the parents up there saying, your child is drawing pictures of demons, he looked up, bullets and artillery and shit like that. Like, we need to have a conversation. Apparently, the parents rushed out of that meeting because they had to go back to work. They weren't trying to hear it. This is a very gun-owning town, I should say. Everybody in the town, their mother got a gun. They're very pro gun, but from what I understand, this family was out. They were outliers in the community. The community didn't really gel with them at all. They're kind of oddballs out. But the son has they show text messages where he's saying there's a demon in the house. I'm hearing voices.
Oh, to his
and
mother?
Nothing, yeah, and oftentimes it would go unanswered, but their thing was like it didn't go unanswered. I just didn't text the response back. But, basically he never got help. He was still gifted a gun at 15 years old. So they found her guilty and she faces 60 years. So I guess, and there's more information about the case, but I'm going to keep us moving. What are our thoughts on this? Should parents be held accountable when their kids do commit crimes like this? What does this mean for us moving forward? How responsible are the parents for their child's actions?
This is wild to me. 60 years?
She faces
I don't know.
that. It doesn't mean she's going to get that.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy to me. I feel like that is very black and white. And is there any account? Obviously, the child wasn't well in his head. Was the mother well in her head? Like, is there any kind of testing around her mental health, her mental capacity at the same time? I don't know. That's so tricky. That's so difficult, especially if it's legal. It's legal in that for them to give a child and a minor a gun. Is that right?
I believe so. Let me look. Actually,
I mean, if she reckless conduct and neglect, all that makes sense too, though. That is wildly neglectful.
I mean, it's not the matter.
But if she didn't, if she didn't have the capacity to do anything intellectually, emotionally, obviously she wasn't well.
Well, does that mean that when you enter into being, so I'm playing devil's advocate, when you enter into being a parent, right? And you're saying that you are responsible for this person, and this person is reaching out to you saying that they have a problem. Not one time, not two times. This young man told his parents numerous times. School officials told the parents. They did not want to hear it. They ignored it. So whether she's okay or not, you still are assuming the responsibility as a parent. That's the argument. You neglected the signs. You neglected this child and getting this child help. You gifted a person who's obviously unstable a gun. The day of the shooting, you were called to the school and you stormed out because you didn't want to hear it. So, I mean, the part of the other issue in the case is that her argument was there were no signs. So, and then the prosecution had a ton of signs of like, obviously there were signs. Here they are. And she was still denying it. She also, during the trial, had little to no emotion. Everybody was commenting on how she's just was like,
well. I mean, she's obviously not well. It's tricky because when you talk about the responsibility of a parent, that is very nebulous, right? It's very subjective. And when you try to put that against legality, like what are the legal, and I guess they're saying here neglect is a legal responsibility or a legal, a binding legal responsibility for a parent. But I don't know, it all feels very subjective to me, and I feel like there has to be, she can't be well. She can't be well, and so now we're doing this again, this punitive thing with people that are
It wasn't found that she wasn't well. It was not.
Was that on trial? Was that an argument?
That should have been part of her defense if she wasn't well. She never pleaded insanity. She never pleaded any of that. She said there weren't signs, and she was 10 toes down in that.
Well, that's a sign of her
So
not being
you're
well.
still,
I don't
but
know.
that's
I guess
just,
it's neglectful. I'm not defending her. That just feels like
no, I'm not. I don't think you're defending her. I think you're bringing up a good point because it's what I felt. I saw this and I saw the precedent, and it made me nervous. Two things. I'm trying to organize myself. If you come to my house and I serve you a whole bunch of liquor and I let you drive home, I am responsible for that. Believe it or not. Did you know that? If you drive home and you get into an accident or you kill somebody, I am also liable and responsible because I gave you the liquor, I served it. I have some sort of responsibility to you according to the law. So this is the argument that people are making. Well, if we have that for people who are not parents, now you have parents where this young man went out with the gun that this parent purchased for them when this parent was well aware that he was deeply unwell and asking for help, and killed 4 classmates, ended their lives. How are you not then responsible?
Well, how are the gun companies not responsible?
Thank you. Then it gets into, this is where I'm going with this. Now why is he able to have a gun
at 15?
Why is when are we going to talk? When are we going to talk about these gun laws?
Your frontal lobe isn't even developed.
When are we going to have some sort? So basically, they figured out a way to pass the buck onto the parents. And I think both parties are liable. The other thing that concerns me about this is the precedent that it sets, because where does it stop? Because now people are going to try more and more cases like this that are for lesser things, for things that they could start trying. I worry about little black boys and girls, little brown boys and girls who get into a fight on the way home from school, and the parent is at work. Now the parent is somehow responsible and facing charge. Like, what doors do we open for this to be weaponized against already marginalized communities? But I do think there is there is a lot of responsibility that these parents hold. I mean, come on.
There are also some parents that, try like hell.
Yes.
Their kids help. They are distraught. They don't have the resources are not there. They often, especially in black communities, will turn to the police. I don't know how many times they'll turn to the police to be like, my kid, like, shit is fucked up. He's wilding out. And then, everything gets chaotic. There's so many parents that...
But the idea there is that they would not be found guilty because they took steps. The thing here is that Jennifer Crumbley and her husband took 0 steps to help him.
I mean, but again, also there are, especially in the black community, there are parents that won't take the steps because they know their children are not safe in these quote unquote places for help as well.
And how do you define what the steps are? Could it be, does taking your kid to a pastor count? Does talking to your kid? Does responding, come home? Does taking the gun away if their kid is saying, I'm hearing voices, there's demons? Like, there's other steps that could have been taken besides, sending your kid to
child have a gun?
A police station or a institution, So here's my thing. I'm like, I want to understand what would count as it not being willful neglect. I think she was willfully neglectful here, and I think she deserves to face some sort of punishment for this or some sort of rehabilitation for this, because she also doesn't get that she was neglectful.
Right.
But how do we gauge that is my question now. Now that we're setting this precedent, what counts as doing the work to try to help your kid? Do you have to institutionalize them? Do you have to make authorities aware if you don't feel safe doing that? What are the resources? What are the steps that we are demanding of parents with unwell children? And I think we need to define that. And sadly, I think the only way that we're going to define it as more and more is while more and more of these cases get tried. And then we're going to see what jurors think, what judges think, and what the court of public opinion thinks. And I would rather get ahead of it with the laws, but something to look out for. Very sad news there. I don't know if I even want to really talk about this, but I can. Shaun King has a lifetime ban from Meta and IG. I've subscribed to his newsletter, and I saw his newsletter, and it started with, I was given a lifetime ban from Instagram for thanking Yemen for trying to stop the genocide of Palestinians. And Shaun King is very he's very
polarizing,
but with the way that he writes is dramatic is not the word. It's the stakes are very high. And so basically he said he thanked the men of Yemen. He said that December 22nd, 2023, for their courage, doing anything and everything they know how to do to stop the genocide in Palestine at the hands of Israel, the United States, and the United Kingdom. Meta said, you've got to go. So he did a lot of organizing through Meta and Instagram, where he was connected to a whole bunch of people. And his argument is basically like, so even Donald Trump has been restored, who's repeatedly been suspended, banned, and he's charged with nearly 100 felonies. But I thank people in Yemen, and I'm out. And he said he's fought this. He's went up the chain. They're like, you're done. And so he's like, there's plenty more polarizing people on these platforms that still have their platform. And then he doubled down and said, let me be clear. I stand by every single word I said then, and do not and will never regret saying what I said in defense of Gaza and in support of Yemen. In fact, I only wish I said and did even more to support Yemen in their efforts on the Red Sea. So I guess my question is, when it comes to Meta and their oversight board, this is another thing where we do not have overarching power. Congress has not done their job in really standardizing the rules and regulations for these social media companies. And these social media companies determine so much of the political, social, and pop culture climate in our lives. They are literally driving the algorithm for what we care about. They literally have their hands in the control booth, and they are conditioning us, myself included. So, Meta claims that they hate oversight, that they don't want to restrict anyone, right? So if that's the case, then what is this here? Should he have a lifetime ban?
No, obviously.
It's wild.
It's Orwellian. Like, when are we going to see that we're not in a, like, what? When are we going to realize none of this is real? None of this, all of these claims of freedom, it's just not there, y'all. It's obvious. It's obvious.
What you fussing with? It's so loud.
I apologize. It's just, even the fact that what you said was so important, that all of these platforms, the discourse, the narratives, what's being shared, what's not being shared is controlled. It's not as freewheeling and open as we think. And this is a perfect example of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is terrifying. Which should make us angry, but we're just like, oh well, what the fuck did Shay Shay say? Like, this is just, it supports so many conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories, that's what I'm saying. Like, even the shit we just said about baby fat, like, this shit tracks, dog. It tracks. It does. It tracks, and it's terrifying. It is. You know what? What's happening in Gaza is illuminating so much for us politically, socially. What is the thing? What is it? I don't know the saying, but you know, you see who has power by who can't be mentioned. What does it go? How does that saying go?
I don't know that saying.
I'm gonna get it to. It's not. Did you say that song?
Saying.
Oh, I was gonna scream. There's something along the lines of there. You know who has the power when it's
You got to keep their name out your mouth.
keep their name out your mouth. That's wild to
I
me.
think specifically it was the Yemen thing, because Yemen is like in the Red Sea. Like, watch us work. Y'all ain't finna
Real
come over
acts
here.
of resistance. Real acts of resistance right there. Wow. He had 60 million followers. All of his data and info probably is not really deleted, but has been quote unquote deleted. He had influence over 60 million people.
More than that. I mean, he would reach out
6
and
million,
you
I
feel how
apologize.
you want. Feel how you want about Shaun King. I again have never had any issues with Shaun King. I know people who've worked with him and raised money with him, and they've never had any issues with him. The money went where it went and where it was supposed to go. So take what you want. But he would also lend that platform to people and like give them the credential, like log in, send me what you need. It's important that we get this information out. He was truth telling. He was self-serving as well at times on his platform. He does victimize himself, but I think when you're surrounded by victimization, how do you not fall into that kind of trope? But yeah, like he would ask for money for his surgeries and shit. Okay, fine. But he's also doing hard work that like those images that were going up on his page were horrible to look at.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people felt he mishandled things, and that he was very blunt and curt and irresponsible with how he put his information out. But also he was like, y'all got to see it. I'll be that. But you got to see it, because too many people are walking around talking about there's so many skews. Shit's going on. And, you know, I respect it. That work is not easy.
Wow. The quote is, to learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize.
There it is. Ciao. More things that are happening in the political spectrum that we cannot cover fully, but we do think that you should be checking out. NYPD, actually, this isn't on the outline, but here in Times Square, some shit's going on where the NYPD, and I don't watch local news, so that's something that I need to do more of because it's so important. I don't often get a chance to. I'm usually hella geopolitical and full country. But NYPD is lying, saying that there was something that went down in Times Square, some sort of conflict with the police that they said, you know, of course they were the victims.
But a 15-year-old involving a 15-year-old.
Involving kids.
Yeah.
They killed him?
The 15-year-old was, I think something was going with NYPD. He apparently rang shots out in the crowd and they're saying he meant to hit one of them, but ended up hitting a bystander. I don't know if she's dead, but I just saw the headline today. But that's not true? They're lying?
I don't know. I see a whole bunch of stuff showing that like they've only released 40 seconds of the camera footage that they said they had the full thing on, and that there's more to the story that they're not telling. Like a whole bunch of people are.
Jesus. Oh God, God help us! Wow,
they killed him?
No, I don't know if they killed him, but that's who they're saying is responsible for the shooting.
Well, obviously, that's terrible. We need to do more research, but this is starting to. I'm seeing a lot of my New Yorkers repost this, and a lot of folks are talking about it. So it's something to pay attention to, and obviously, we need to do more research ourselves. I just saw it. That's why I'm bringing it up. Also, Trump. We're determining if Trump can stay on the ballot. The court cases, by the time this comes out, will probably be underway next week. So scary times over there. Go ahead.
Biden defends passionately against a lot of the ageist commentary against him, saying that he can't remember anything. And while he was defending himself, he done forgot something and mixed it
He
up.
misspoke. No. I'm really not. I'm really not.
Antoinette!
I promise. No, because I do not think this man should run. Let me just be real clear. I do not think this man should run. I do think that his mental capacity is not where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. But what? The special counsel, in deciding that he would not charge Biden with any crimes for the confidential documents case that Trump is being charged for, in that decision wrote, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview with him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. A lot of people are like, there is no report that would ever need this. Like, this feels very political. This is fucked up, and this feeds right into the Republican Party. Biden has said that when he went and spoke to the special counsel, that was right after the massacre, the killing of all the folks over in Israel happened, and he was like beside himself. So the other thing too is, like, I get it. I do not think that Biden should run. I don't. But I watched the thing.
Why?
The only thing because I just said it. I don't think that his mental capacity, I think and it's not an age thing. It's a mental capacity thing. Like, there's a lot of sharp ass 82-year-olds. Now, Trump, if we really want to talk about gaffes, Trump literally just mistook Nikki Haley for Nancy Pelosi last week.
Oh boy.
Trump told us to drink bleach to cure COVID.
Right. Like, but it's not a thing on Trump.
But this is it's not with you, but what they're doing now, Republicans are now about to try to issue an impeachment of Joe Biden based off of his mental condition. Because they're running with this clip of him standing up for himself and this special counsel report and wasting more of our taxpayer dollars on this.
I mean, this wasn't the only interest. I don't know that is a, however strategic, I don't know that it is a crazy argument. Like, if there's anything that they can stand 10 toes down, is this man and the accounts that we've seen may not be able to run.
Same thing could be said about Trump.
Right.
That's the only thing. That's why it's so absurd to me. Nikki Haley literally last week called for funds for Iran instead of Israel. She met Israel. Everybody does these clubs and fucks up.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen Joe Biden just stop talking and get confused. That's not what happened in this interview, is all I'm saying.
He's been very disoriented.
I agree. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, like, we're moving the goalposts in a lot of ways when it comes to Trump and him. And that's not me saying that you're doing that. It's just like the coverage on this is so stupid to me. It's like, yeah, we fucking know. The dude his mental capacity is not, he shouldn't run.
Lord Jesus.
We know. And neither should Trump.
Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, ordered his Israeli military to evacuate Rafah, where about 1.5 million Palestinians are now crammed in as they try to continue to escape the fighting and follow the continued suggestions of Israel to move to get out of the fighting zones. This is basically the last remaining quote-unquote safe zone for the Palestinians, and now Benjamin Netanyahu is claiming that it's the last stronghold of Hamas. Again, it's also where all majority of the Palestinians displaced are. It's unclear what's going to happen because he intends on going in and continuing the combat. So that was yesterday. We will see what happens.
And lastly, Senate Republicans blocked the bill for border security, and they blamed it on they blamed it on it not being a strong enough bill, even though it was a bipartisan bill. Part of the bill had money for Ukraine and Israel aid in it. They're going to move forward with only voting on the aid package. But
Waste of time. Waste of
He
time.
blocked it.
The
He
way
blocked
they
it.
the way they asked
Trump
for that
said
to
block it. He
happen,
blocked.
and then
Thank you.
what?
They need something to run on.
God, give us. I need. Go ahead to pop culture. I just need to get one sweater. Go ahead.
We can wait. She can't even hear me, child. I waited. All right, pop culture. This was all over the internet, child. Ugh.
He really fucking it up for the biracials, or maybe not.
Drake.
Maybe not.
Drake. I was shocked. Our group chat blew up. Somebody put this in a group chat without any context, anything. I opened my phone and saw what I'd never wanted to see. It was Drake laid back with his flaccid penis in his hand, whipping it around like an elephant's snout.
Trunk,
whatever. Hated it. People loved it. The girls went crazy. They said, "Oh, we get it, Drake. We get it. Sorry, Daddy." And I was like,
really?
Oh my God. See, you're not on Twitter. So many of the girlies were like, Drake, yo. And I'm just like, you can have a big dick and be corny, bro. Like, you're still corny. I don't care. It was also wildly flaccid. And he also probably leaked that himself.
It was wildly flaccid and still thinging, though.
I know, but I don't care.
It had about 3 inches above his hand still. Just... So...
But do you... Never mind. He leaked this.
Of course he leaked it. But also, let's shout out to the... I know we be talking shit on the biracials, and a lot of men... I think that's... But Jesse Williams and Drake.
Now, Jesse is I like.
Them 2 light-skinned men are slinging it. But you've never been... it was interesting, the conversations that came up, that some women are like, I don't care if he's corny. I'm still going to enjoy myself. I've never been that. Ever. Like, I will do the latter. Like, it's very small, but I love him. I'm going to stick beside him. I've never been driven just by sex and size. Ever. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm really fucking up. Like,
no, we can't overlook the corn. Like,
it makes me flaccid. Like, you nigga?
Exactly. Remember when you talked about somebody trying to whisper something back to you in a sexy way and it turned you off?
That was me. I was the one that did that.
But that's it. It's like, what a turn off to know that you're this corny dude. And
you will not overlook
the corny. You're inside of me.
And you won't overlook it. Some people are like, shh.
No way. There is no amount of fine. You can be a little dumb, but not corny. I've definitely dated somebody that was not the brightest bulb, but he wasn't corny. He wasn't doing stuff that culturally was just
he was slinging
bro,
it, though.
What?
He was doing his stuff.
Yeah, he was.
I really want to hear from the people that are like, nah, that comes first for me. Like, if it's good, if it's the size that I like, I will tell him to be quiet. Because I think it's more prevalent with men, but I really want to hear from the women that are like, nah, put it back. Like, don't say nothing to me. We know what it is.
But that's then what kind of sex are you having? Are y'all not
good
kissing?
Sex, maybe.
No, you're not.
No, he may be a wonderful lover. He could be a wonderful lover, but it's attached to a cornball. So you're going to be
tonguing down somebody who...
Corny niggas might kiss real great. Corny niggas might be great lovers.
I can't kiss you like that and be all into you if you just corny. And I'm not talking about corny where you're not cool. I love a corny geek dude. That's my shit. You want to go to Comic-Con? Let's go. Like, let's go be weird. I'm talking about corny where you're trying so hard to be cool and you're so inauthentic at times.
Like a shell
and
of
it's
himself.
Just like, yeah, and you're so talented you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it.
Some people are like, yes, I don't care because that thing is thangin'. And I want to talk to those people. I can't do it. can't. But some people can, and some people are saying, "I'll overlook it. I don't care." I heard a lot
It's
of people
that
saying
think
it.
Drake fine too. It's like fine. Do you think Drake's fine?
No,
Are we haters?
I'm
I
not.
think
I'm not attracted to light skinned men like that.
Oh,
Problematic.
there's some light skinned men.
Or some. Like it's a butter
No,
pecan. Like he's very
Is
fair to me. Like I
is it a light skin thing though, or is Drake just not fine? Like
no, Drake is
is
not
Drake
fine. No, Jesse's fine.
Jesse's fine.
That's a good looking man. I ain't gonna hold you.
I seen him in person once and was like, he was at a Thai spot.
No, he's fine. Actually, I take that back. I take that colorism back too, because some light skinned things can get it. I like a light skinned freckle combination. Like of my light skin phenotype, I like light skin freckles.
Oh, girl.
I like the light skin dark freckles and light skin red bone freckles. Like really like a red bone. Yeah,
the
like
Malcolm X freckles on them.
that butter pecan combo. Like that's I like that. But there is some too light that it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I would love to hear what people have to say about this because no.
Yeah, we show all y'all that are like, girl, let me show you how to do it. You can still have a good time without having to experience the corn.
But are we gonna talk about how the fact like he leaked this?
He did. You know he did. Like, are you okay?
Ew. Like, why would you do that?
And I really
He's the Kim K. He's Kimmy. Is he Kim?
He's Kim.
Why is he not Kim? It's the same shit.
But I think we never talk about how Kim's mother orchestrated. The sickest part we don't actually name. Anyway, I digress.
I know.
Baby Phat. It's all connected.
Baby Phat, yep. Kim was wearing baby fat.
No, but like the sexualization, children, mother, like it's oh boy. The Grammys. I did not watch them. I haven't watched the Grammys. I don't have a TV. I'm working on it. Maybe I should get one in my big age, JoJo's big age. I'm really considering it now. Do you still got that TV in the kitchen you don't use? Let me buy that joint from you, dog.
I do, but there's going to be a thing in the kitchen that's holes in my kitchen. Like in the wall. It's mounted.
Mounted. What a word. I love that word.
You are in heat. My girl is in heat, y'all.
Mounted.
Oh, I mean, TVs aren't that expensive.
Yeah, I guess they're not.
We get you a TV. I don't think you need a hand-me-down TV.
Anyway, Grammys happen. Highlights from the Grammys we will cover. We're going to start with Jay-Z's speech.
Did you like it? Did
No.
you listen to the whole thing?
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I
Of
mean,
course you didn't.
It was cool. It was all right.
I loved it. I think I think it was perfect. I think it was very him. It was very like kind of awkward but poignant. I didn't think that it was as awkward as everybody was making it out to be. I thought that the crowd was kind of with him. Maybe the only thing that people didn't like was some of y'all don't belong in the categories. And if that's not the truth, then I don't know what to tell y'all. And I love the fact that he came back down and was like, listen, we love y'all. We love y'all. We just want you to get it right, or at least close to right. And, people can say what's right, what's this, but I appreciated how he was up there for his lady. He was up there getting his award and made it about his lady with his daughter by his side, his Grammy-winning daughter who's tall as fuck.
And looks so beautiful.
Stunning. And I'm like, Jay-Z is really tall. Jay-Z is like 6'3", and Blue is like his height. So she just needs to go be on somebody's runway too.
She is gorgeous.
Gorgeous, just statuesque, very
kept
just
it together,
collected,
trained.
calm,
Yeah.
trained. She has Beyonce's mannerisms. Where she's like looking around like she's so trained that I'm like, I hope there's space for her to be crazy. I love that he shouted out, made fun of himself, boycotting the Grammys, made fun of Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff when they boycotted, and I think it was a poignant thing to do this year, especially when, we had the hip hop, 50 years of hip hop, and then literally not one hip hop award was televised.
What's up with that?
Not one, not even album of the year. It was all pre-show. And Killer Mike swept every category and won, and then was fucking arrested backstage. They took him out. He couldn't even use that. He couldn't even enjoy the night. He couldn't do his networking afterwards.
What?
He couldn't like
A terrible
and cuffed him.
act.
He didn't need to cuff that man.
Why did they do that? Why you pick? Why? Well, he been
They
running
knew
from
where
the
he
law.
was gonna be. I don't think
What
so.
did he
There was
do?
like some sort of misdemeanor. There was some sort of issue before the Grammys happened with somebody. Some sort of
Killer
like
Mike's tricky though, isn't he? Isn't he like a pro-Trump? He's like has
Killer
very
Mike is tricky.
right
He's
wing.
not saying he's pro-Trump, but he is not saying who he's gonna vote for.
I don't know any of his music that he just recently dropped. I have to go back and listen.
He did the song with Andre. He's the one that got Andre back on the track.
Okay, that one song. Okay, I have to go
But
listen.
also the album was good. And I thought it was interesting how a lot of the people that were up there with him are all well over 40 something years old. And he's like, anybody that's saying that this is only a young man's game, you got it fucked up.
I love
Like
that.
there's a lot for us to say.
Yeah.
And then you have Jay-Z up there, and I hate the idea of Jay-Z, this Dr. Dre award.
Why?
Because I don't like, Dr. Dre is tricky, and he's never taken accountability for his past abusive ways
of
in
course
nature.
not. No, one will.
But I liked Jay addressing and using his platform to do so. I liked it. And I didn't think it was shady to Taylor. I don't think everybody's trying to say it was shady to Taylor. I don't think it was that. I think it was just the math is not mathing.
I just want everybody to put a little respect on Kanye's name too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The man has insight. He tries to see us. He sees things, and because of the way his neural difference and his Gemini
Tendencies.
speed, like Gemini C are just fast. Everything is really, 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 really fast. They can't even keep up with themselves. He really been trying to tell us about a couple things for a minute now. Okay, tricky.
And did.
Tricky. Shout out to Victoria Monet, who just looked like a bronze statue herself. Just a gorgeous family. God damn.
The way that you are hot to trot for her husband,
It's
you
her
better
boy.
cut it out.
Spare her baby's
excuse
father,
me.
but they are working towards marriage. Shout out to John Gay. Shout out to their beautiful baby Hazel.
Oh, Hazel was fed up.
I would
At them
be too.
Grammys.
And why would they bring her? But she was beautiful.
She was part of the rollout for the album. She was like a big part of the album.
Okay, she's beautiful.
So gorgeous.
So Monet won 3 Grammys for Best New Artist, Best R&B Album, and Best Non-Classical Engineered Album for her debut. It's not her debut record. What does debut mean? Like it's the first one that came out? Is that what? No, it's Jaguar 2. She's dropped an album before. Interesting why they said that. I don't know what that means. But anyway, for this album, Jaguar 2, she, in her speech, of course, is not new to this. She's true to this. She's been a amazing writer for folks like Ariana Grande. She's just been in the game, and for her to get her flowers now, and she acknowledged the amount of work and perseverance and how she is not a new artist and not new to this. And I think it just shows. And I even feel with your something about this reminds me of you for some reason. I don't know why, but just this moment that she's having, the amount of work and effort and hours that she's been putting in. I don't know. I just felt about your awards and where you are in your life right now. And just all you girlies, all of us that are putting in the time and the work and the effort, not feeling acknowledged, not feeling seen, just running for dear life, that, you will get your little, it's for all the slow burners.
And Best New Artist is so big. That's Best New Artist for any artist ever. And I love this. Samira was up there to give her that award. Another black girl killing it.
Samira also
also
she's
won.
the jazz singer?
She won.
She gives me chills. I want to see her live. I want to go to one of her shows. I will weep.
Really? I would love
weep.
to do that with you.
Can we please
You will
go?
weep. Because guess what? Her daddy comes out there. Her whole family can sing like that. Have you heard her
Antoinette?
dad
Yes,
sing?
I saw them. It made me cry during the
It's
watching
beautiful.
that. I would pay top dollar for that girl.
Say the fuck less.
I would
Say
love
less.
to get dressed up, scream and hoot like the way I was scream and hoot for that little girl, that woman.
She's the shit. She's amazing.
Woo,
she is
gives me
amazing.
chills. I love her.
She posted this picture of her like this and Mariah Carey sitting down looking at her, smiling at her, talking to her. And she was like, like, I just love it. I love it. I love seeing talent win.
She does, exactly. Talent win. And so then the Grammys are tricky, right? Because there's these politics, but then there's also, you know, this acknowledgement that when Jazz won her Grammy, the way we felt was like,
yeah. Where it's like, fuck the Grammys, but also I'm so happy.
Yeah,
because I know what
tricky.
it took to get here.
The way they be
and the
having us
behind
by
the
the
scenes
balls.
stuff that they have to do in order to remind people to vote for them, and that whole thing where you got to go out and sing for all the execs, and it's ridiculous. They make you tap dance almost. So it's whatever. Fantasia. She's a star.
She did it. And again,
That's it.
The slow burn, right? You thought I was done?
I'm not. There's nothing else to say about Fantasia. She's literally a fucking star. She did the tribute to Tina Turner, which I'm very happy that they had. And she did Proud Mary and ate it up.
Looked good.
Ate it up.
Looked fabulous.
Sang it down. Looked fabulous. Tina was proud. And I was happy it wasn't Beyonce.
Beyonce sent her flowers, and then Fantasia was like, let's do an album, let's do a song together. And Beyonce's like,
relax.
Girl, stop, please.
I don't do album requests.
I don't do
song requests. Thank you. Actually, my album's already done, and I'm planning my fourth world tour as we speak. They're building the stage. That's the type of crazy she is.
Another mark of excellence in history. Celine Dion made a rare public appearance at the Grammys for the first time since 2019. This marks Celine's first major event since she was diagnosed with the stiff person syndrome in 2022, and she did not come out looking stiff. She came out looking regal.
La Roche did her thing.
La
That's
Roche?
her stylist. Yeah, that's her stylist. He was like, I only come out of retirement for the girlies I love. It's like, yeah, you only work for the people that you like. Yep, they were on Twitter posing. He had her looking like that. Child, looking fabulous.
And she always does. She is just a beautiful woman. She is just a gorgeous woman. And for those that do not know, Celine has been diagnosed with the stiff person syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease in which the muscles spasm, and they alternate between spasms and rigidity, being so rigid that they feel like a board. I don't know if this is true, but in this article it says the muscle spasms are extremely painful and can be they're triggered by, actually I'm not going to say that because that cannot actually be true. I don't think that's actually true, but it's a very painful and slow developing disorder, and it breaks my heart to hear that. Celine has been through so much, but also Celine has done so much. She is a god, okay? A motherfucking god. She herself is a 6-time Grammy Award-winning artist. I mean, all you have to do is go and Google her award history, and the girl just has receipts up and down for Juno, American Music, People's Choice, World Music Award, just Billboard. She just is a fucking icon. And she presented the Album of the Year award, and the winner was Miss Taylor Swift. This is her 4th time winning Album of the Year, which is prestige. The Album of the Year award is a big motherfucking deal.
It's the top award, Shanti.
This is her 4th time winning it, breaking a record. And she went up on that stage, and in her Taylor Swift ditz incitement, oh my God, did not acknowledge took the award from Celine Dion and did not do much more than that. Did not make eye contact with her, did not hug her. Celine just had her standing there for nothing. Disrespect.
Never.
Didn't acknowledge her in her speech. Who the fuck? Something ain't right with her. And that's it right there. Something ain't right with her. She should be dragged.
Her media team made sure she got a picture backstage with
Too
her,
late.
hugging and kissing on Celine.
Too late.
My thing, I'm not gonna make this about Taylor, it's her personal thing, but Grammys, knock knock. So Taylor sets a record for the most wins for album of the year of any artist ever. So you telling me that by that standard, you're telling me that Taylor Swift is better than the Beatles? Taylor Swift is better than Aretha Franklin. Taylor Swift is better than Stevie Wonder.
Michael Jackson.
Taylor Swift is better than Michael Jackson.
Get the fuck out of here.
Taylor Swift is better than Sting. Taylor Swift is better than Frank Sinatra. Taylor Swift is better than Quincy Jones.
Everybody loves Coldplay? Beyonce?
Taylor Swift is way better than Beyonce, who's never won it. That's the math that Jay-Z's talking about. We want you to get it. Make it
what?
Kanye. Make it make sense.
Kendrick Lamar?
Make it make sense.
It doesn't.
Taylor Swift. And I named like the Beatles, Barbra Streisand, these kind of iconic whites to basically be like, even that math ain't mathing. Even if y'all not gonna give it to us, that's not mathing. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Well, it's about votes, right? I actually don't know how the Grammys work. It's all a voting.
I don't believe that it is all voting. There's a Grammy, there's voting, but it's not public opinion voting. There's a you have to qualify to vote for the Grammys. You don't we can't vote. It's not a People's Choice Award.
Taylor.
It's wild. But also Candy Burris, who you can't always believe, but she came out talking about, no, I was on a secret committee to figure out who was going to win R&B album of the year. It wasn't about no voting. We just figured it out and decided. I don't know.
The nominees that Taylor was against, did you know that there's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo, SOS by SZA, The Record by Boy Genius, World Music Radio by John Baptiste, and The Age of Pleasure by Janelle Monáe, and Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus. All except for John Baptiste. Actually, I don't know who Boy Genius is, but I believe those were all women that she was going against. A lot of people believe that SZA should have won. And
I do not.
You listened to all the albums? I listened to The Age of Pleasure. I didn't think it was
I'm not saying she don't deserve to win this time.
I think SZA should have won. And
okay.
Not that I love the album, but somebody made a really good point about, one, it was super popular. Like, everybody loved this album. All the young girls loved the album. But someone wrote, SZA's a noteworthy artist doing groundbreaking things with her music. Not only are her vocals stellar, but I find her ability to blend pop, R&B, and even rap in songs like Smoking on My Ex quite impressive. The girl had range in it, and although I didn't like every single song, there was a lot of range, there was experimentation, and Taylor just be doing the same things. Taylor does the same things, and I should be quiet because I actually don't know that, but sounds like it. But okay.
The math ain't mathing to me, but go ahead. Y'all got it. That's y'all queen. I hate it. But y'all got it.
I want to mention this. I unfortunately did not have time to watch this because it's 3 hours long, and I didn't find it to be as captivating as Cat Williams. But Monique went on Club Shay Shay. Shout out to, come on, again, Antoinette. These older people making a mark. Making waves in pop culture.
Second career.
The slow fucking burn. This is
Well,
this is for all
he's
of us.
great because it's just seriously a second career.
It's
He's a
amazing.
football giant, and then was like, okay, let me flip this.
I love it. Monique, the comedian, was on Club Shay Shay. Similar to Cat Williams, she even said it, she comes on to tell the truth. Monique has had a contentious relationship with Hollywood, having claimed that she was blackballed because of her stance that she took with the black media gods Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Lee Daniels. When Precious first rolled out, she did not agree to the what do you call that, the promotions and what was required of her, especially because she was not being paid for it, took a stance, and then got this reputation for being hard to work with. She even has had recorded a discussion she had with Tyler Perry in which he called her hard to work with and admitted to sharing that out within the industry. Sharp says that he actually listened to the tape, so she has receipts. She went on to talk about that. She talked about Oprah, about how Oprah was two-faced, how she supported her, but in closed doors, saying, yeah, you got to do what you got to do for your mental health. This was also Monique had just had a baby when Precious had come out, so her allegiance, especially because she wasn't being paid for the work, was to her family and her mental health. And so again, Oprah was like, yeah, girl, that sounds good, was privately supportive, but did not support her publicly. I didn't know this happened. After that happened, Oprah apparently went on to produce an episode for her talk show about Monique and her molestation by her brother, in which Monique's parents were interviewed talking about Monique's molestation with her brother, all without Monique's permission, which is weird as fuck. She went on to discuss Kevin Hart. Oh, Philly nigga, tricky. Kevin Hart is tricky, similar to what Cat Williams had to say about him, but saying that they did a handshake agreement where Kevin Hart was like, yeah, I'm gonna support you. I'm a executive produce a revival of her talk show, The Monique Show. Word came out that he actually wasn't down. His manager, Dave Becky, stepped in and was like, nah, Kevin doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Monique called. Kevin was like, yo, is this true? Kevin was like, no, we good. Like, we're good. And apparently they haven't talked since that happened. So similar to Kat, she aired out, had receipts, explained her stance. Monique also sued Netflix for discrimination and pay discrimination when they tried to offer her a disproportionately low for her stand up compared to others, and she won. So
exactly,
a lot of people were turned off and are turned off by both Monique and Kat's truth-telling stance, many of which folks are saying that they aren't seeing much accountability from her. It's a lot of like, you said, he did, these motherfuckers have to, yeah. I want.
What did you do?
But there wasn't a lot of reflection on her end, which I don't know if that's required in these situations. Is it?
Yeah, I think that if you're going to tell the truth about everybody else, everything's a co-creation. I think that you can receive truth telling a little better when you know that the person's telling the truth about everything. They're not just telling the truth about who hurt them. Don't leave that part out. Don't leave the part out where you made a mistake or you might have done X, because there's no way that Monique is perfect in any of this, but I do feel like that she's gonna be vindicated, hopefully. But I think, nobody wanted to hear shit she had to say. I mean, Charlemagne just issued an apology to her. He was still being tongue-in-cheek and an asshole while he did it.
Was he?
Like, a little bit, where he was like, clearly I've disturbed your peace. Clearly I've this. Like, basically saying that he's living rent-free in her mind. But he did give himself Donkey of the Day for challenging her, when she said that she should have been paid X, Y, and Z. Monique is not just a comedian, to be clear. Monique is an Oscar winner. Like, don't get it fucked up. Monique got Emmy nominations. Like, she might even have an Emmy. Like, she's not... When you win an Oscar for Best Actress, Supporting Actress, I think, like, the world's supposed to open up to you. The shit closed to her.
Okay, apparently she rubbed... I mean, I think most importantly, of course, yes, you know, she could be accountable, but I think it's important that... I think it's important with both her and Kat, they are revealing the others... the politics of Hollywood, which we all hear about, but the consequence of that and how that really affects people's lives. And we don't know how many lives have been affected by those types of blackballing and gatekeeping and duplicity. And I mean, I guess that's just life as well. Ain't nowhere you ain't gonna find it. Even in
it happens everywhere, right?
And that is just... The Lucy will get you. But shout out to her. Hopefully she gets the respect and she wants an apology from... We don't need to do that. She wants an apology from Oprah and Tyler the fucking Perry. Oprah's little reputation. Oprah
dodging all this shit.
Oprah's like,
this shit ain't landing on me. Get out of here.
Anyway.
Well, all right. That is it, y'all. We did it. Also, Kanye West just dropped a song, or an EP rather,
yeah,
and everybody's going ablaze. You saw?
Is it good? He mentions
I don't know. I've been on the podcast. I just
mentions,
saw the tweet. Also, Alicia Keys is a confirmed guest for the Super Bowl. Hated it.
As a singer, my boo, my boo. That's what they gonna sing. My boo.
You sound better than her.
I'm gonna sing along with that though. Lord knows I will.
Somebody says she better be drinking her hot water and tea and lemons right now because the girl couldn't sing for about 7 years.
I know what happened. Me. She said I don't have to anymore. She did like the, you know what? Never mind.
She just won a Grammy. She just won a Grammy, so.
I have something to say.
Speaking of her, I want to go to her and Swizz's collection. Their art collection is at the art museum.
We should take Joe.
All right, come up here then.
I'm gonna do that. It's beautiful.
You can stay at my house.
We're all gonna be there. Bye. I love you. The older the new. Bye. I gotta pee. Oh God.